My emotions throughout 2020, like, oh my, the best, ooh. You know, that moment where you're like, Jesus, come now. I could go home. I'm good. The separation, the loneliness, the lockdown, as much of an introvert as I am, like I am the person who says I'm antisocial, I'm okay on my own and whatnot. When mentally, places are locked down or locking down, the airports have shut down, there is something there that feels like I am imprisoned and stuck. And especially when you're not with family, so I was alone. So all of a sudden it's like I was meeting Pretty, who was single before and was okay with, just being able to exist on her own. But now you have responsibilities. And so the emotions were just way too many. And for me personally, because I had to close my office in Botswana, beginning of 2020, the emotions were quite very multi-wired and layered, in that I felt like I had failed. I was feeling disappointed. I was feeling humiliated. I was feeling embarrassed. I was just going through kind of what you call a silent internal suffering, where I was facing myself without the different perspective maybe of other people initially. So I was a little hard on myself, and so I would say on an emotional plane, I started in a very difficult way. And then in February, I started to go like, you know what? Because I talked to myself, okay? I was like, God, you promised. You said it was going to happen. I am still going to believe. I remember even when I recorded the episode, Start Strong, Finish Strong, I was like, I am going to believe every single word, that indeed, even through the cracks, even through a famine, even through the most difficult of whatever, your promises are still true as God for me. So, let me revisit how I look at failure and see and reflect back into what could I have done differently? What are the things that have led me to this point? And so the moment I changed my perspective, I think that was around March. But I remember in early April, when I was just looking at my birthday, I was like, birthday in quarantine. My husband is still on the other side. We're just FaceTiming, and I was like, I particularly remember the moment when I said, I am so sad, and I shed tears. I particularly remember moments when I said, I need to talk to someone, and so one of my friends was really there for me, but then I also reached out to therapy. I was just like, I need to process failure. I need to process all of these things, because if I don't, I might not be able to know how to stand. And also, my all-time go-to place, prayer. So sometimes when you're going through emotions, you don't even understand that you're not doing the things that gave you strength and faith and hope. And so my ability to say, let me just also focus on praying for the world. Let's look at Italy. Let's look at the Diamond Princess. Let's look at the people in Wuhan, and look at just where COVID was really hitting hard at the time. You start to recognize that, perhaps your discomfort, and those who are in the front line as well, dealing with the pandemic in those real sense. I have doctor friends who were in the front lines. You start to really now become empathetic and recognize that, what? I don't have to deal with this maybe in a way that they're dealing with it. And because of that, you gain better perspective. And for me, the emotions were like a roller coaster. But I think it was around April-ish when I was able to kind of exhale with all the different tools that were afforded to me, that I was able to say, what? This is what it is. And I think when I went to buy a coffee machine, I was like, okay, we're going to have coffee at home. We're going to exercise at home. We're going to watch movies at home. We're going to have our bath, all the other different things like remote work and whatnot. Just knowing that and accepting that this is what it is. That was around Aprilish, 4 months into the year, and I was like, that's all right. That's all right. But it was a roller coaster. Okay. By the time I was like, thank you, perspective. Oh, I had cried a couple of tears.